Are you looking to up your game to the highest world tier difficulty in Witchfire? Then I have 10 awesome tips for you to enhance your runs in Witchfire. Let's get into it. First up is the starting class. There are 6 prayer classes to choose from, ranging from beginner friendly to hard. This is really important for later in the game because the prayer that you choose determines your stats, playstyle, and your starting gear. 4 of the classes, the Butcher, Hunter, Slayer, and Shadow, all start out with 1 gun and 1 gear item. You don't unlock the gear items right away, so choosing one of these classes provides an early advantage. They also start out at level 6. The 5th class is the Saint, who I believe is the most beginner friendly because the stats are balanced across the board, and the Saint comes equipped with not only a normal weapon, but also a demonic weapon, light spell, and relic, none of which are unlocked early. Or you can give all that up and make it super hard on yourself by going with the Penitent. This last class is not beginner friendly, starts out at level 1, and only comes equipped with 1 pistol, the Hunger hand cannon. Second on the list is building for a certain playstyle. I recommend leaning heavily into the playstyle you enjoy playing with by increasing the specific stats in the Ascension Shrine. I felt this was the best way to get the power fantasy feeling early on because you aren't spreading your stats too thin across the board. For me, I wanted to go for a critical hit build, so I jacked up my faith stats, which increases Providence, Divine Intervention, Healing, Spell Recharge, and most importantly, Blessed Aim, which increases the percentage chance for a non-critical hit to be a critical hit. At faith level 40, I'm just over 22% critical hit chance. Your stats also affect what rosary beads you can equip. I focused on increasing my Divine Intervention and Blessed Aim damage to negate effects and increase my gun damage. Therefore, I equipped the Divine Intervention bead, the Blessed Hits bead, and Blessed Fire bead. To show off the build, here's what it does. You can see all the critical hits I'm getting when you see the little red crosses show up next to the damage numbers. That's a lot of juicy crit hits. Third is tier 3 guns. You should pick 2 of your favorite weapons and get those leveled up to the 3rd tier as quickly as possible. The reason to do this is so you can have 2 go-to guns if you get stuck in a pickle, or you're at a point in the game that is difficult, then you can rely on these 2 weapons to bust through that content. Going from tier 1 to tier 3 for the guns drastically increases the power of them and how they function. Take 2 of my favorite guns for example, the Ricochet and the Striga. Both these weapons at tier 3 have an electricity element, the Ricochet hitting enemies with lightning, and the Striga shocking nearby foes on critical hits. When you combine these weapons with the Lightning Bolt light spell, Iron Cross heavy spell, Eye of the Madwoman relic, a Dynamo ring, that is a whole lot of electricity that blends together for an absolutely dominant build. On to number 4 with synergy. Synergy between your guns and the rest of your items in your build can be the difference between your gun feeling like a tiny pea shooter, like the Duelist here, to an absolute shredding machine. Here's the Duelist pistol with no synergy whatsoever. Feels like you have to go through all 12 shots in your chamber just to kill a couple of enemies. Now here's the winning combination I referenced in the previous tip with the Ricochet and the Striga. Combining all the lightning from the guns and the various items, and the Blessed Aim I had in my stats. Watch as the enemies get totally smited by lightning. This will make the game much easier for you, especially as you increase the Gnosis level and face tougher enemies. Tip 5, fire is overpowered. Fire is not just a theme in the game and in the title for funsies. No, fire is a centerpiece in this game and extremely overpowered. To showcase this, here's another build with 2 of my other favorite weapons, the Hangfire hand cannon, which explodes and burns enemies on reload, and the Echo shotgun, which has pellets that explode, cause burn to the enemy you hit, and also burn area of effect applied to nearby enemies. Combine these with the Fireball light spell, Burning Stake heavy spell, Painted Tooth relic, and Crown of Fire ring, and you will be lighting your enemies ablaze. Check out the Echo shotgun in action. The normal enemies get absolutely melted by the pellets, and getting up close and personal with heavy enemies, they don't stand a chance. Next up at 6 is the Gnosis Upgrade. With Gnosis, the world tier difficulty system in the game, you have to complete specific actions while playing and have enough Witchfire to meet the requirement to progress to the next tier. When I first encountered Gnosis and was increasing it from tier 1 to tier 2, I thought, oh man, I have to use the Witchfire I just earned to upgrade it? But no, you actually don't have to. If you look at the left side of the screen, it says you have to carry Witchfire. So in this example, going from tier 5 to tier 6, I needed 150,000 Witchfire. But when I increase the tier, I still have 150,000 Witchfire. You get to keep your Witchfire and use it on other things like increasing your stats at the Ascension Shrine. But just remember to increase the Gnosis tier first, before spending it on the other goodies. At number 7, don't get frozen. There are enemies throughout the game that have ice abilities, especially the axe-throwing enemies in Iron Gate Castle. And you can even encounter ice crystals that you'll have to destroy to rid yourself of the status effect. I would consider this more getting chilled than frozen, because you're slowed and can't use your dash, but either way, avoid it at all costs. Otherwise, you'll get turned into an ice cube and find a quick end to your life, or in my case, have the Mandrake Relic activated to save it. Coming in at 8, beware the spiders. Seriously, screw the spiders in the Velmorn Expedition. They are the most annoying enemies to deal with. Make sure you have a gun with area of effect damage or a lot of bullets so you can survive the spider onslaught, like the Ricochet. You would think shotguns are the obvious choice. Take a spider out with each shot, easy peasy, but then you have to reload. Shotguns in this game reload one shell at a time, which is too slow for the quick spiders. Next thing you know, they swarm you from all sides and take you to an early grave. They might just save you as a snack for their spider boss. At number 9, low ammo. You'll be pumping through ammunition with all the enemies you encounter in this game. Whether it's bullets, shells, stakes, or nails, you'll get low on ammo and need to manage the ammo you have. Just make sure to keep an eye on it and not go into another large encounter without an ammo box nearby, because it's pretty difficult to take out enemies with just spells and melee. There are typically 2 to 3 ammo boxes in each map, which will fully replenish your normal ammo and give you some demonic ammo. You can get ammo from enemies, but it's not near as much. The final tip at number 10, Mysterium Incantations. In Velmorn, there are 3 mini-bosses on the map, the Watch Commander, Sepulcher, and the High Executioner, which can each drop a 2nd or 3rd Mysterium Incantation. If you're planning on upgrading a bunch of weapons and gear items, which I highly recommend you do, because the most fun you can have in this game is discovering new wacky gun abilities, powerful spells, and build combinations. So why not have a place to quickly farm for the Mysterium Incantations you need to raise everything to tier 3? Use whatever deadly weapon you like most to quickly blast those mini-bosses into oblivion and collect that sweet, sweet loot. For me, the tier 3 Echo Shotgun does the trick. If you have any questions about the game, please drop a comment below and I'd be happy to help you out. I hope you have a damn good time with this game. If you're looking for more information or additional thoughts on the game, why don't you check out my video of my Witchfire review. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep on gaming.